Alright, hi everybody, it's Balkan92 again. Gotta do this keep this gravy train rolling. Cause you know it's like my internet goes out for a day. Like it was like Friday into Saturday. Late Saturday getting my internet back. And I just got like a shitload of reviews to do. Oh, it's so tiring. But yeah, I'm probably just going to do this right now and upload it later, which is Strike the Blood. Because I got Kami got Q, I got Freezing, a final episode, Yusha final episode. Then I got the other day of anime. It's anime. And that's four. That's four. Not including Maggie and possible Maggie chapter and Seven Deadly Sins. But I'll get to it. It's not too bad. Also, there's other final episodes that are going to have instituted anime series review, but I'm going to leave that for Monday probably. But yeah, let's get into this. Strike the Blood. The ending of the Angel in Flames arc, as I like to call it. I call it Angel in Flames. They got a better word to use for it in the Anime News Network. But when I was, reading this arc, when I was watching this arc, the anime episodes for it, originally, they called it Angel in Flames. So I like to call it that. I like to call it. Let me just check to see if that's what I'm really calling it, Yeah, Angel in Flames. So this is going to be Angel in Flames 4. This is the final part of this story. Beginning of this episode, we got Yukina, Himeragi, and we got Floria. I'm going to call her Floria. That's what I'm going to call her. And basically, they are in a barrier after Kanase's tirade there. She basically frozen herself in this huge column of ice. And basically find out from, I think, Floria. She says that her ego is colliding with each other, supposedly. And her ego went astray, like, kind of thing going on. And what ends on happening is Koujo's not dead. He's not dead. He just has this wound on his chest, like a star wound on his chest. And apparently it's going to take a lot more to bring him back from whatever, because it was like Blaze that just attacked him. And basically what ends on happening is, this was fan service up the ass, this part. Floria basically is trying to tell Himeragi that she's going to do this for him. She's going to excite him so that he can suck her blood. And listen, I'm going to partially agree with killing with a shotgun. She kind of got a point. This guy is going to keep sucking blood of girls and just going to create a freaking harem. Like for real. It's... I'll just... It doesn't matter. I'll go with it. So ridiculous. Anyway, what ends on happening is Floria she starts getting undressed. And I'm like, huh? And basically trying to excite him so, he can awaken. It's going to take a lot more to wake him up back than what she's been doing. And then Himeragi at that moment is like, stop. She just stops her and says, it's my job. I'll take care of Senpai. So she basically just jumps in the forehand saying, I'm going to take care of it, and you're not. And she's just taking off her clothes, and she's like, she takes her spear, cuts her arm, and drinks her blood and force feeds it to Koujo. So that just opened a can of worms, because then he just I don't want to say rape. I don't want to say that, but it looked like it. And he's just sucking all the blood out of her and shit. It's like, goddamn. But at the same time, she obviously lost strength and she slept after that. And he woke up. But apparently, Floria wants him to suck her blood too. Huh? So she's like straddling him in his lap and shit. It's just like, suck my blood too. She apparently is saying to him that she has big expectations for him during the scene. And that, not to let those expectations go astray. So he ends up sucking her blood too. I'm like, Jesus Christ. What ends on happening then is we have a scene with Kanase, Kanase, where she's in the ice and she sees herself and saying that everyone is gone. I won't have to live with something doing with not living with sadness and stuff. And then all of a sudden we see an image of Koujo in like a spirit form hugging her. And we go from that to Kanase's father. He's on the ground ice floor, on the ground, as he's looking up at this ice sculpture thing, this tower. And he sees that she's stirring and she's coming back, and so on and so forth. And, saying, that's right, you have nothing left, and so on and so forth. Then out of nowhere comes one of Koujo's familiars. And he just breaks that unicorn thing, destroys the ice, tower, and he's like upset, he's pissed off. We finally find out the whole bit with this guy when it comes with the fourth progenitor, why he's doing what he's doing. Essentially, this is what I'm going to say about this. I think Koujo's going to have a bigger thing going on with him later on in this show. I think it's going to be one of those deals, I think, where like something's going to happen. Like someone's going to attack him, people are going to try to kill him, or something like that. But he shows up and the father's like saying, "Oh, then you'll have another round with her." And then we find out this father of Kanase, he's a sick son of a bitch. He married his own sister, and his sister gave birth to Kanase. Yeah, that's fucked up. That was, and he was basically explaining that the reason why he did what he did for her is for her happiness. And then, Koujo was like, no, you son of a bitch, that's wrong. And he was basically going on saying that, is that what she wanted? Like a dumb fuck. And of course, the blonde bitch showed up again. Oh, by the way, Beatrice, I'm glad what she got in this episode. She got owned. But yeah, what ends up happening is, she shows up with that wolf guy, beast, demon guy, and they're like talking shit, saying, "Oh, enough of children policies," and saying, "Oh, just die." I'm like, who are you? Stupid bimbo. But anyway, what ends up happening is she brought with her clones, angel clones, that were based off Kanase. And she's basically going to use them to attack everyone and stuff. And what ends up happening is Koujo, he goes and deals with Kanase, while Himeragi deals with this stupid blonde bimbo Beatrice. And what ends up happening is, it was actually, you know what, I'm going to give this a 4. You know why? Give props where props are due. Himeragi, pretty boss in this fight with Beatrice. I was like, wow. Beatrice was giving everything she had against her, that stupid weapon of hers that was alive. And Himeragi lost her spear, And she kicked, just laid the smack down on her. I was like, wow. And she's like, give me the remote, because it's a remote control that she controls the angels with. And she's like, she's so pissed off. I'm like, yo, hey, you stupid dumb blonde. It's over. You lost. But she tries to fight Himeragi anyway. And do all these energy shit things. But what ends up happening is Floria, she killed the guy who was supposed to take her. And then she brought out this holy sword shit and just went for like avenging everything that you did and so on and so forth. Boom! You're done! So she pretty much just killed Beatrice. After we had that part, and then after that we have the thing with kanase. Now this is what kind of upsetted me. What upsetted me about this part was I just found it to be a cop-out. Because I wanted Koujo to do it on his own. You know what I mean? Like he saves her on his own. But it took more than that. Like he basically, what he did was he unleashed another familiar. This familiar was pretty boss. It was, his arm was like red and black and shit, and he bring out this. Speaking of dragons, talk more about dragons. I just last video I did talk about Smog. He brought out this two-headed dragon thing that apparently eats dimensions. That's what I heard from what they were saying. But basically, this, which I think is called Mercury, ate the wings of kanase to see if bring her back down, and then she exploded with power. And the entire time this is happening, they're playing the music. I'm like, damn. And she's got these red wings then. And I'm like, that to me was like, I'm like, I was really upset about that because I thought, he could defeat her on her own. But what ended up happening was, because he did that, he was able to get rid of the barrier that was defending her. And the end result was Himeragi stepped in and attacked her and just completely destroyed the thing that was possessing her, which was the power of the angel. And that then gave Koujo the ability to just attack the thing that was on her, and he destroys it with Mercury. Which that was pretty awesome. It was a two-headed dragon, blue. That's pretty boss. And then she's saved. I just found that was like a cop-out. I was like, but I can see the appeal why they did it that way, because it's Himeragi teaming up with Koujo. But anyway, they save her, and then there's this moment when he goes up to her father, and he wants to do something. He looks at the father. He looks at Koujo and says, "Aren't you going to hit me?" He says, "That's not for me to decide." That was awesome. That was an awesome part. So after we have that, and she's saved, and she's like, "Oh, Nissan, saved her and stuff." We have another scene. Motoki, remember? That's his name, right? Motoki? I believe that's his name. Yeah, Motoki. He shows up and he's talking to the father of kanase, and he's saying that he was trying to destroy the fourth progenitor. That was his whole bit. Because eventually he's saying that the fourth progenitor, something is going to happen with him. That was what I was talking about earlier in this video. And so on and so forth. And basically after that we have a little scene, horror scene. Floria, she kissed him, and everyone was pissed at Koujo. everyone from Hisagi to Himeragi, his sister was like, "Oh, Lisa, you should kiss the girl, princess and shit." It was nonsensical, but that's pretty much when the episode ends. So I'm thinking, last thoughts on this. Something is definitely going to happen later on. I mean, this arc really showed it with this father, Kanase's father. He kind of hinted that people are going to go after him. Like there's something that's going to be huge going down with Koujo, because he's not supposed to be the fourth progenitor. There isn't supposed to be a fourth progenitor, from what Kanase's father was saying. And from what I understand, they took him in, the company, Matoki told him. Yeah, so there's that as well. But that's a hint for later on of what could possibly go down later on in this series. So, yeah. And next week's episode, from what I understand, is going to be called Blue Witch. Yeah? Blue Witch. There's going to be 24 episodes. The Labyrinth of the Blue Witch. So, hey, it sounds interesting. We'll see how it goes down. Pretty good episode, like I said, 4 out of 5. Himeragi was fucking awesome. And we got some interesting insight. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, people. Bankai 922. I'll see you guys later. Harem shit. Harem shit in the end there. See ya.